Okay, good morning, everybody. So this is our second time playing Avatar Allies. This card is playing 20 cards from the new set. Now, in my set review video, I was talking about how, there's an interesting shell for allies that I remember from my old RCQ, PPTQ grinding days. One that uses Halimar Excavator to mill yourself for a ton and use Return to the Ranks or Rally the Ancestors, although now we're using Race to the Past, which is a little bit newer, to return all of your allies. And you can either mill your opponent out until they have no cards in their deck, or you can use Ondu Cleric to gain an insurmountable amount of life until you can assemble a win with the Halimar Excavators. So that's kind of the idea, and these are actually the only two non-Avatar allies that we're playing is Halimar Excavator and Ondu Cleric. This one, whenever this or another ally enters, you gain life equal to the number of allies you control, and this is the same except it mills instead of gaining life. And there are a lot of very, very good allies from Avatar for this shell. I think that the two that performed the best from the last time we played the deck were South Pole Voyager. Whenever this or another ally enters, you gain a life, and then you draw a card if the second time you've entered. Good source of life gain and card advantage. And then Invasion Reinforcements is just two allies, two allies for 2 mana, which is very good with these rally cards here. You get to add a lot of triggers really quick, and it also is a double Convoker for Return to the Ranks. So it ended up being a really big deal too. And I really liked having access to Earth Kingdom Protectors as a good 1-mana ally that protects your important pieces. Earth Kingdom's Lieutenant as Athalia's Lieutenant, so you have an actual beatdown game plan you can pivot into, especially with the Return to the Ranks. I ended up feeling that it was relevant. And then Great Guide Divide or Great Divide Guide that lets you make a lot of mana, especially good with the Race to the Past. But I think it's also better now that we've added Malevolent Rumble. So this was kind of the missing piece, I think. We tried a couple different versions last Friday, and we played Birthing Ritual in one of the versions. We were playing some the other 1-mana ally that gets a counter whenever it or another ally enters. I didn't like that one so much, but I think Rumble is better than Birthing Ritual in this deck. It does what we need to do. It digs a bit deeper for Excavator, which is something you need, but it also fills up the graveyard for your Return to the Ranks and Race to the Past. So I think it ends up just being an awesome piece in the deck. I think it's just kind of the obvious in hindsight missing link, and I'm really hyped for it. But if you missed Friday, we had a positive win record with allies. I know it kind of flew under the radar, maybe because of the European RC, maybe because it was we lost a challenge so people tuned out or something, but we had a positive record with allies, and I think that that's really exciting. The overall analysis is that this deck was very hard for decks like Jeskai and Boros and Prowess to interact with effectively. The return cards were kind of just insurmountable, and they gave you so much life gain sometimes that it was just kind of hopeless for even Boros to contend with. And it so your fair play being very good in these kind of matchups is a really big dynamic shift compared to something like humans or merfolk or goblins, because usually those decks are so bad against the interactive decks, but this one seemed to be pretty good against it. Now the problem is, even though I think you can in theory kill on turn 3, especially now with Rumble, but and usually you're not going to kill till turn 4 with your combo, even with your good draws. The problem with that is you're going to be pretty bad against combo. But the good news is there's not a lot of combo in the format, and so the vast majority of our sideboard is just dedicated for various combo decks, is how we've had it built at the moment, and I'm excited. Today might not go as well as Friday did. Maybe that was a bit of a flash in the pan. Maybe we ran kind of hot, but a positive win record with allies to me is really exciting, and definitely something to work on. Where's Katara? Yeah, that card. So you do not want to play any ally that costs more than 2 mana in your Return to the Ranks Rally Ancestors deck. You do not want to play 3 mana 3/3s in Modern that die to Flage for no value. It's to me, Katara is a non-starter. It's not even a conversation that you would want to play 3 mana 3/3, double the triggers. Yeah, Luris would be let's bring back Luris just for this deck though. Why Cursed Totem and not Clarion? Some more things. It's faster. You could play Clarion Conqueror instead. Although it turns off Aether Vial, turns off spawn tokens. I guess spawn tokens turned off either way. Oh, Totem doesn't stop mana abilities, does it? Oh, it does turn off mana abilities. Okay, well, we can talk more about that. But I think being faster, being on the draw against Soul Trader or Yawgmoth is important. Alright, go to Temple Garden here. Probably don't need the breeding pool with the Aether Vial. And my opponent is playing Neoform. So hopefully we don't get turn 2'd. I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I guess, Earth Kingdom Protector since it's just a 1-drop I can vial in. And I'm gonna have the hope of being able to out life gain Neoform here. Hope you had fun in Japan. I did, nice. Yeah, it was awesome there. I'm glad you had fun too. Yeah, I agree. Lurrus being legal in decks would be pretty cool. Alright, they're just surveilling main phase, thankfully. We did actually beat... We beat Neoform last time, right? Can't remember. Alright, let's go... South Pole Voyager. Let's doing some reading. And then I'm going to go ahead and vial an Ondu Cleric, I think, instead of the other Voyager. Try to gain too much life for my opponent to, like, one-shot me with Xenagos. Right now, this should be 5 life. So maybe I guess we're still a little in that range if we don't draw a land. We do draw the land. So yeah, I think I will go ahead and play the South Pole Voyager for the life gain, which I think is really important. Now, it is a problem now that if we don't draw another ally, we don't get to draw any more cards next turn. But I think we're against Neoform. We just got to use our resources. So this is going to be another 6 life out of Xenagos Galta range. I watched last week's video until 4:30 a.m. Did not expect you to be playing allies Saturday morning. I bought the whole deck. Nice. It was really, really exciting. I agree. Glad you're hyped for it too. Alright, 2 on the bottom with the Preordained. Gonna have a bad Neoform draw. We'll see if they hit what they needed though. Looks like they did. Still turn 3 is kind of slow. Possible that this is even just a blocker, if they're gonna bottom both of the Preordained. But no, they have the Neoform. And they get a Gristlebrand. I think that makes sense to some extent. They draw 8 cards. Don't think they're going to draw any more. Discard 1. Of course, we want to draw an ally. Okay, there's a good ally. So let's go cast Ondu Cleric. And then in response to this Ondu Cleric trigger, you want to vial in your ally so you get the extra... counters for triggers for both. And then we get to also draw 2 cards. Put a counter on everything. Alright, not the best 2 cards. Pretty bad. Damn. Okay, so if I sit with everything, they can block a 3/3, and then they take 7. We are at 54 life, though. Pass back. Yeah, there's a lot of changes to the sideboard. We're also playing Rumble over Birthing Ritual or the other stuff we were doing last time. For the Ondu Cleric deck, you can right-click, like always this. I know. I usually like to pace myself in the morning, so I'm not misclicking. Relax. Thank you. Alright, they go down to 4 life after paying 7 more. So I guess the best draw is the ally that makes 2 allies here, right? Is it a Stingray Sweater? It's just a mountain, I think. Alright, they packed again. So the sideboard, we've got some Ashioks. I guess Deafening Silence may get into. So they grab a Galta, which makes sense. Let's see what they got to put into play. 11 cards in their hand. They put into play another Galta. And they also put in a Disciple of Fraley, so they could potentially sack one of these, draw a lot of cards, and put more stuff into play. Maybe even drawing off Gristlebrand. So we might not be winning game 1 against this. I think if our other draws, like if we didn't just draw 2, like land Aether Vial, even if we do just 1 ally off those, I feel like I'd be feeling a lot more confident here. Oh, okay, they didn't draw any more cards. Like, this is just a winnable board state. We probably have to draw reinforcements, though, or something like that. We consider the Sorin to kill with lives, in case they can block graveyard hate. I guess I haven't thought about it. It's not an ally, is it? Being not an ally is really tough in this deck. Kind of interesting. Okay, we're down to 46 life. Good for us they didn't hit Xenagos. We need some reinforcements. Yeah, Rumble would be good too. But it might have a Pact of Negation up though. Yes, baby, allies! I think I'm actually ahead now. Unironically. So I'm going to sack the triggers so that the Ondu Cleric's triggers resolve after the reinforcements so we get to gain more life. Unironically, I just think we're ahead this game. So at 56, 64, draw a card, gain a life, draw a card, gain a life. More. Alright, so we're going to save this for next turn. But we're at a cool 82. Good luck, opponent. Bubba with the 21 months. Hope you're doing well. I found most problems against things like Stony Silence. Or against Trigger. Yeah, Doorkeeper seems really tough. You have some Prismatic Endings, though. For one. They don't even attack with Gristlebrand. Yeah, I'm going to go down to 69. Muted again. Damn, I don't know what's going on with this. Test. Again, it's very weird because on my end it still shows. It doesn't seem to be the filter because I took the filter off last time and it was still muted. So I don't know what's going on. All right, definitely keep an ally here. And this is without even doing any of the graveyard stuff too, which is fun. All right, so say no to this. Say yes to this. Say no to this. So in response to the this is the same thing with Thales Lieutenant, but we want to Vial again, and we're using Aether Vials here, of course, because we don't want to get Pact of Negation out of our ability to draw 2 cards off the South Pole Voyagers. It came back right before you unplugged and plugged it again, so it wasn't the problem. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. It's very hard to diagnose. Sorry for the recurring issue. Need a full-time sound engineer. All right, so we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 allies, so easy 40 life here. Mac with 12 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Good matchup. Maybe. Oh, 44 life. I forgot about the South Pole Voyagers life game. Also, our board's not small. Like they do kind of need to not be attacking with the Gristlebrand. It has been a fun year, Mac. Happy anniversary. Where's Gavany Township? There is the new Gavany Township. I don't know. Could possibly get in there. It's just like a fetch land's probably still better. Ah, they have a replicated consign here. Damn. This is a very funny spot. It does mean that keeping the train rolling because I'm not going to get the draw is going to be tough. Although they're going after the Earth King Lieutenant triggers, which are worse than the Ondu Cleric triggers. Are Chord or Finale effects worth it, or does it water down the plan? I don't think we have enough green cards for Chord of Calling. But like the Return to the Rinks are kind of like our Chord of Calling with the self-mill. At least that's the idea. Okay, so they're countering 1 Earth King's Lieutenant trigger, 1 Ondu Cleric trigger, and 2 South Pole Voyager triggers. Oh, they let me get a South Pole Voyager trigger. Okay. I think I'm gonna graveyard this. The best top decks by a lot are now the return card, since I've got 2 allies, or a reinforcements. Just keeping 1 ally probably would be okay, but obviously it's a pretty replaceable draw. Gucci with the 25 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Zuport Cutthroat's an ally. That would be good sub scenarios against Wrath. I guess we're pretty good against Wrath, right? Because we have 6 cards that return all of our stuff. I'll say that I'm not super interested in like in changing any of the creatures at the moment. I feel like I'm pretty happy with where the creature split is for the most part. Okay, just an Atraxa. Also, like, I could just draw a mill ally here, and I could build them for, like, 11 of their 20 cards. They put a Summoner's Pact, Rider, Neoform, and Scalding Tart into their hand. Maybe they're going to play another Rider here, so they don't discard. With the 54 months, have you prepared your Festivus poll? We did put up the tree last night. Or they attack with Gristlebrand. They need it on defense, I think. I haven't done the math, but we have a really big board. They play Breeding Pool untapped, so maybe another consign to replicate. Quite a first game, huh? All right, let's pass back. Does seem like they have another consign. Is there a world where we attack with reinforcements from the grave because of rally? Yeah, that world is the turn you draw rally. Hi Willow, hope you feel better. Have we done any testing with Rumble? Yeah, this is live testing. I didn't end up getting a lot of off-stream testing done, and the stuff that was a little less good, I guess. But I think that's okay. Like a lot of times, like the off-stream testing, or like with this deck, like I think this deck clearly, like from our last testing, is ready to be played with Rumble. You know, I don't think it really needed an off-stream one for this specific deck. I do have several decks in the queue. Oh no, I should not have ticked up the vial. Now I get Pact of Negation. Okay, so they have a consign. Let me see if maybe they consign this. I don't know if they would ever pact. If they do pact this, then maybe they would pay mana for the pact, and then we get to vial in the invasion reinforcements. Okay. Okay, this ended up working out really well, funny enough. Not that it was on purpose, really. But they only have, at most, 2 more consigns in the deck. They probably do have 1 in their hand here. But while they only have 2 mana up, let's go ahead and vial in the invasion reinforcements. And just make them use the consign if they have it. Although it seems like they don't have it. It seemed like I thought they did because they shocked in the breeding pool last turn. Obviously, we're thrilled that they don't. Favorable matchup. I do think we played a pretty similar game to this last time. All right, we're at a cool 102 life. Maybe I want to block the Galta. No, I don't think so, because I haven't found a single mill ally yet. That seems to be a recurring problem for this deck. We're like 30 cards deep, haven't seen one, but I think I just want to keep as many allies in play, so a single trigger there off an Aether Vial is going to be lethal unless they have consign. Yeah, we certainly have plenty of life points to play with. Is the plan to build them out? Yeah, that's almost always this deck's main game plan. Sometimes you do beat down, but that is the win condition, is milling. See if they have a 4th pact. They draw 7. Is this revealed or exile? Okay, I don't know. All right, well, there's a Halimar Excavator. So let's go ahead and vial this in. If they don't have a consign for the ETB trigger, this wins. And then even if they do, we have another ally. And we got a few more triggers on the stack. We need stats about who took how much damage you took. Yeah, I took probably about 100 damage, I would guess. Somewhere in that range. Opponent maybe realizing they are dead if this trigger resolves. And so then they just consign the mill. Now, this Earth Kingdom Protectors is going to obviously gain 1,000,000 life, but it's also going to be another mill trigger, and it's going to draw 2 cards. The allies have banded together to defeat a giant demon, a giant dinosaur, a angel, an elf warrior, and 2 apes. What a game 1, huh? What a game 1. All right, running back. We just have a good matchup. All right, I'm interested potentially in Silence, potentially in the Ashiok. Deafening Silence turns off Summoner's Pact really hard. Yeah, I thought Allosaurus Rider would have been a dino, too. I think we can cut the Protectors and then erase the past. Seems fine. Endurance is terrifying, yeah? Not really. And like I get to draw 2 more cards. Like if they have Endurance, which they'll just reset their library. I will build them out eventually, you know. I guess they could keep invoking it. Maybe that would be a big problem. I would say not terrifying though. All right, let's keep this. It's kind of fun that this is another hand that's just trying to play our game against them. We don't have Aether Vial, but it does seem like a pretty strong hand. I'm not sure exactly how we sequence this. Probably lead on the Rumble to try to set up for like Excavator into reinforcements into return, or maybe that's a little slow. Maybe we lead on the Excavator instead. Excavator. Why do you have for return to Rexo Roaster spell? This card could cost 0 mana. We're an invasion reinforcement stack where it's like we get to convoke it and we get to multi-spell if not 0 mana, you know. It's certainly been really good for me. I think it's even like certainly the best. I guess we graveyard this. We really want to find a land or maybe a Deafening Silence. All right, so I guess we go Excavator into, then the following turn we can go Reinforcements, mill ourselves for 6, and then we would have the ability to return the ranks X equals 2. That seems better than Rumbling, at least. Someone was going to be generous and share a little holiday bonus money. What method you prefer? Gifted subs bits? I guess a donation is better. Donation, gifted subs bits in that order, I suppose. But, you know, no obligation. It's very sweet if that's what you want to do. Make sure your family and yourself are taken care of first. I guess, okay. I guess bits better than subs. Twitch doesn't take a cut of bits. I get so few bits, I don't even know. Okay, there's a Gristlebrand. They go down to 12 cards in their hands. And they pass. They discard 1. All right, well, let's stick to the plan.
What's up? It's me, your friend.
Don't know if this is going to be quiet enough this time on the draw. Oh, wow. We do hit an Earth King's Lieutenant and an Ondu Cleric. I think we do go ahead and need to try to get both these back. Aw, thanks, guys. See if they have a Pact. Plus Consign. They do draw 7 in response. Okay, so this is gaining 10 life, and then I think we're just at a spot where I'm milling them. So we also get to mill them for 10. So they're down to 24. I'm up to 27. Maybe we get Xenaghost out here, but it would be very funny if they just have they're like, okay, we built the Xenaghost. Let's go. Oh man. If we just 2-0 Neoform our game plan against their game plan, it's so funny. But I mean, this has been the experience with this deck. Our plan goes way over the top of fair stuff, and at its base level, Neoform is just putting creatures into play and attacking with the. This is a very weird way to think about it, but kind of funny. Yeah, they almost only ever play one Xenaghost. So I've never seen another copy. Now we might get like the Teamer guide here. That card would be really good. Certainly might lose this game. But we also have game 3 on the play. Alish Norn! Okay, we can't win. I think. Actually, I guess if we drew another Return to the Ranks, maybe. Why didn't they get that first? Alright, well, I can't beat an Alish Norn. Okay, let's bring in the extra race to the past, because that's our way to beat Alish Norn. Maybe I'll cut a guide pride. Corisco with the 16 months. Thank you. Welcome back. All right. Well, let's keep this. Return to the ranks wouldn't do much since your creatures don't live to account for the triggers. Well, I guess the excavators would live. That's true. That's true. I guess the guy. I guess maybe that was a bad reason to cut this, but this one does live, so that's possibly a way to actually make that work. No, excavator also has 3 toughness, so. But I think that's probably a reason to maybe cut like a South Pole Voyager or something. All right, hopefully our turn 3 Ashiok is fast enough this time. Ashiok also self-mills, which is good in this matchup. Could play the other Aether Vial and Surveil now that I've drawn the 3rd land, and I guess that's okay. Cutthroat is only really good in Tenorn. Yeah, let's. I'm not gonna register Zulaport Cutthroat, a card that is underpowered and would cause me to splash a color. Okay. Whew. Could also try to snipe. I think we self-mill. Let's be disciplined. Should lead on the Cleric here, I think. Okay, then they kill one of my 2 Aether Vials. It's fine. Is it not worth it to always target with Ashiok since you can spike a lot of their one-ups? Well, my deck cares a lot about self-milling, so that's my reason for choosing not to. Although I did draw the Excavator, maybe it is time. Okay, they just concede. Great. Great. You know, I have been really impressed by this deck. I do think it's gonna take some time to convince some people on this one, but there's something here. I tried the Ship Warden deck at my local city tournament and went 1-3. The one dude went 3-1 with Orza version with Kitty's Blessing and Soul Warden. Because the Kitty doubles tokens me with Fire Ship. Yeah, we played a version like that and didn't do too well with it, but I think that there was I think the biggest problem was the mana curve was kind of weird. I've not seen one game. I glanced, look like Avatar Seal deck with lots of rares. That's funny. We do have 20 Avatar cards in this deck. 2-0. Boo. Main deck consign. We really needed that Aether Vial. Okay, just a Riddler, though. So I would really like to get the Earth Kingdom Preservers into play before, or like go Voyager into Preservers. Although I do have Return to the Ranks. I guess me having Return to the Ranks means I should just play the Voyager. What happened? Did they just concede Ashiok? For the most part, I showed them some other action. Ashiok plus pressure, I guess. And they packed it in. So Emperor Bones, maybe Reanimator. Okay, unearth the Emperor Bones. Is this a sign of weakness? Doesn't exactly seem like a sign of strength. And Aether Vial is pretty interesting. They could have another copy of Consign, which I'm worried about. Let's go for the Invasion Reinforcements. Make Tone with the Twitch Prime. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, they do have a Fatal Push. The Emperor Bones as Graveyard Hate for my Return to the Ranks is scary. Although we do have the Halimar Excavator maybe to set up with. Another Riddler. Airship Yogg 5-0, Airship Soul Trader 5-0. Nice. Yeah, we had one of these. This looks like just our list exactly. And then this, let's see if they made any changes. Cool, looks like our list exactly. Sick. Glad to do it well. Okay, let's go ahead and take 2. Want these in play to be Convoking and also to gain life off the Ondu Cleric. They've got 3 cards in their hand. Okay, seems like we should prioritize getting the Vial down. And I guess I'll play the Preservers. Even though it's kind of free to Vial it next turn. Might even have been better to hold it for the extra Ondu Cleric trigger. Although next turn, maybe I want to go Halimar Excavator. We'll see. I kind of think I want to go Ondu Cleric next turn, and then go Vial and Excavator plus return to the ranks. The Cone with the Prime. Appreciate you. Booster 15. Ollie went 7-0 with Azula and Songcraft Mage. That sounds pretty sick. Yeah, I just don't think it's modern, really. Modern combo. Yeah, Avatar has been such a good addition to Modern. The gameplay's been so nice. Okay, they've got 4 cards in their hand and 2 Quantum Riddlers in the Warp Zone. What is this? Oculus? Okay. They surveil over an Archon, bit scary. We draw a land. Yeah, I think we should be pretty alive if we play the Cleric here. I want to be setting up for Halimar in to return to the ranks. I'm scared if they Thoughtseize the return to the ranks, we get got, but like this is gonna be a turn where we can like potentially chump block with Ondu Cleric, potentially sack it to Archon, but then they can exile with Emperor of Bones, so I might want to sacrifice something else. But I think guys, just setting up for next turn. Hopefully they don't have Persist for the Archon. They do have the Emperor Bones. Oh, sorry. I just forgot that Emperor was going to be so much damage. Maybe I've foolishly wasted my window to try to spike a bunch of stuff off the Excavator. Because this is 12 plus... Yeah, this is 17. Okay, sorry about that. So we would have milled... Looks like not... We wouldn't have hit the Cleric. Looks like not enough to have lived. Okay, so we're down a game against Grixis Reanimator. I do think our normal plan is not so bad against them. I do think I'll bring in the Purge at least. Possibly want to be playing Prismatic Endings because not only deals with Emperor Frog and sometimes Oculus, but they can also deal with like Nile Spellbomb. Seems like that's probably... I've probably talked myself into that. As far as cuts go... I think I am interested in cutting some Rumbles if I'm bringing in... like 4 non-creatures here. These games go a bit longer too, and like you'll eventually draw one of these, you'll eventually draw your Excavator. Also, in the matchups where your Excavators die naturally, and like your creatures die naturally, I think the like finding Excavator is a lot less important, right? And then I think we'll go down to Guide and the Protectors and click Submit. I saw one problem with Warden Airship was 2 Surgical, 1 on Crawler, 1 on Airship, and the deck was shut down. It's kind of tough to surgical an airship though, right? Like it's like they have to surgical your Gravecrawler, they have to counter or Thoughtseize your airship, and then they have to have another surgical, which is, I think that's okay. Alright, we're on a mulligan. I think I'll put back the Lieutenant. Like these cards don't play into the beatdown plan so much, you know. Right on time again. Still important to play it here, I think. Was the verdict on Wan Shi Tong in the end still stronger to feel weaker after more testing? I guess I would say I don't feel like we're in the end. I think we found a Dimir build that's good with Wan. I think that was a deck where I felt that Wan was a strong and powerful card, and certainly modern power level. I don't know, like that. I think that deck is good, and I want to play some more of it potentially. We also found, I think overall that one seems to be not like a big modern staple that just goes in blue decks, period. It also seems like one is a card that needs ways to make your opponent surge, like White Orchid Phantom, Cleansing Wildfire, Field of Ruin, for it to be a card you want to be main decking. So I actually have 2 new decks with one in the Mox Field that I'm hoping to play soon. Not sure how soon. Do you remember your first deck? Mine was my first ever deck. Just like a standard green-white value deck that I slapped together for FNM. Okay, probably not beating the turn 3 Archon here. Yeah, let's go ahead and pack it in. Going to round 3. Why didn't I stream yesterday? There was Magic Online maintenance yesterday, so could not. Alright, let's keep this on the play. New match. So you say this deck is good against fair decks, soft other combo decks because we're kind of slow? Yeah, although we did just beat, funny enough, we beat Neoform in round 1 just by gaining a lot of life and milling them out. Just our plan beat their plan game 1, and then yeah, shocked them game 3. Would main deck Blood Moon make more sense? I don't think main deck Blood Moon is very good at the moment. It's like, it's good against Titan. Titan's very popular, but I don't think it's particularly good against like most of the other top decks. It's like very hit or miss at its very best. So I guess you play the Guide Divide here. So this is a 2/3 to block the Ragavan, and if they have Discharge, we can Vial in the Protectors. And then we have another Protectors for this next turn. Although maybe it's better to have Vial this in first, because then we want to Vial it in anyways, so if they like hold up Discharge, we get kind of punished for this line. Ashiok is unplayable. I think including it in the 75 deck is a losing play. Scrocious, this is very close to your final warning. I don't know what to say. I gave you one warning, yeah, Tuesday. And you're just funny enough to get this one through, I think. Just funny enough to get this one through. All right, let's go and take this up to 2. I think we're gonna get the use out of it this turn. Nice. I do want to see if I end up finding another ally, because it would be cool maybe to have the Earth Kingdom Protectors protect the South Pole Voyager. Are we getting Mana Tithed? I don't know if they realize I can pay. We got Mana Tithed by Boros the other day. Well, I'll tell you what. The Mana Tithe is not... It might have been the same player. The Mana Tithe is not nearly as good this time. Just discard a card. The Excavator is really important to draw, although this kind of feels like it might be more of an Earth King's Lieutenant game. Let's take the Excavator, because otherwise all my self-return cards are just not going to be very good. What percentage of allies are non-human? I think just Ondu Cleric, and that is a really important one. Since you know, so we have 28 allies in the deck. 20 of them are Avatar cards, and all of them are human. Ginger's playing Tithe and Boros. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad, but it's kind of new, right? Is Tithe better than Reprieve? I think the 2 mana counters are kind of bad at the moment, so maybe. Alright, don't need to save the Great Guide Divide. We almost only care about the South Pole Voyager living. We have plenty of mana. Stuff going to the graveyard is totally fine once we have our 4th mana too. If they attack with the Ragavan, I'm going to just jump with the token because we have the 1/3 to check it. I want to keep the Earth Kingdom Protectors. Hoping to draw an ally if we don't draw one of our return cards, of course. Alright, not a bad one. So just to get the maximum amount of self-mills here, which I don't actually know is important, but we could draw Return to the Ranks. We want to respond to the trigger. So we get to mill ourselves for 10. Oh, sorry, mill ourselves for 15. Alright, come on, Return to the Ranks. No, but that's a pretty good one. Because this will let me draw a card on my opponent's turn. And I guess at this point I'm going to start milling them. The thing is, they are a Flage deck, so it's like not free by any means. Reprieving Escape Flight is a nice feeling. Yeah, I mean, Reprieve is good against 4 mana cards, I agree, but like, the format is very, very fast at the moment. Or it's like, maybe not fast, but like curves are low. Which isn't exactly the same. Like you need to break up Felia Riddler, you need to break up Riddler Ephemerate, and you need to stop Quarry Steelcutter, and you need to, obviously there's all the Boros stuff too, and so like you need to stop these early things really hard that the 2-minute cards I think are just not great. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and mill them. It's just so many triggers here. We might even just mill them all natural. Like this is 28. Come on, any ally. Gonna keep the cards coming. Or although a return, raise the pass to return to the ranks is that's the really greedy thing to ask for. Okay, we don't find one. Now, it's a little bit interesting. Do we just play the... I guess let's go ahead and surveil. Okay, so we don't have a guaranteed ally next turn. If I mill them here, I mill them for 16. Yeah, that's just gotta be enough. I don't need to keep the train rolling, I guess. Just like any ally is gonna be lethal. And we got a lot of those in the deck. 14, not 16. Oh, I think I counted the spawn token as an ally. You're not an ally. Get out of here. So hopefully they didn't sandbag an Arena of Glory, although I see 3 in the graveyard. Right, they exile my graveyard, okay. So I guess we didn't want to draw a return card. They do have the 4th mana. Do they have a fetchable, though? I don't know. Instead, they just go for the 2nd of Johnny. I see 1 Sacred Foundry, 1 Plains, 1 Elegant Parlor. It looks like they probably do have fetchables. Alright, so we'll protect this. Also, protecting means, yeah, return or rally is still lethal out here. Yeah, I know I could save targets. I just really like to. I know whenever I play a deck like this, people are really itchy to tell me I can save the targets. I just am trying to minimize misclicks as much as I can. And to me, that's just the most important thing. It's more important than saving time. Not that I'm very likely to misclick. I just try to make sure everything's above board here. Yeah, this matchup has felt pretty dang good, which is, I like, of course, being good against Boros is such an insane thing for a deck like Allies to be, like just humans is. I mean, although I was like, that's the Relic of Legends humans deck ended up being kind of good against Boros too. It was, or at least it wasn't that bad. Maybe it's not as tough as I think it is. All right, we need these. As far as siding out, usually I think I want to go down on the Great Guide Divide since they're kind of bad against decks with lots of removal. The lieutenants are nice sometimes. It's a way to be able to win a game if our opponent has a lot of graveyard hate. But maybe we'll just go down a Rumble to 2 guides and a lieutenant. Our Boda replays come back anytime soon. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. They have Blood Moons. I mean, Blood Moon's not too scary against us with Aether Vial and just get 2 basic planes. We have Purge. I guess that's not the biggest deal. Kessig Malcontents. I don't think that's going to be the answer here. Also, just any creature that costs more than 2 mana is like not really a starter for me. Well, this hand's pretty good against Blood Moon. My opponent is keeping their 7 on the play. Allied tokens aren't humans. That's true, yeah. I mean, so here's like a dialogue tree I keep seeing in chat. Spike. Almost all of our allies are humans. Humans used to be a playable deck at one point. There must be some human synergy we can be exploiting, but there are no good human payoffs in the format. In fact, like when we were playing our humans Relic of Legends deck, that was really a Legends deck where everything happened to be a human, and the payoff was you got to play Cavern of Souls and Unclaimed Territory, and you got to have that 5-color mana base in your 5-color deck. What was good about them being humans. In this deck, we're playing too many like non-creature spells anyways to even like want that mana base, and there are 0 playable human payoffs in Modern. uh, I regret to inform you. Thalia's Lieutenant, yes, Thalia's Lieutenant is not a good payoff. It's literally even worse than Earth King's Lieutenant. It's a Thalia's Lieutenant with trample. I would like Thalia's Lieutenant is not a good card in this deck. It is the best one. It is not good. It is not playable. Or like I wouldn't play it in humans. You know, I didn't play it in humans. The only human surprise you don't want is the 2-drop board changeling. So that card I do like a lot. The thing is, our deck has so many return. Like we don't care if our allies die. Is the thing. Like our opponents killing our allies if it's not exile based removal is just usually a good thing. So that's why I didn't want to play the Unsettled Mariner, although I do like that card a lot. Cavern on ally not runnable as a 2-of. You could play Cavern. We had Cavern in a previous draft, but I do think that the double white ends up getting maybe a little tricky. We also have Rumble in our deck now. It's not, but you could play it. Definitely could play it. What about Image? The clone effects are bad because when you return them, you can't copy something that you just returned. It is better than the clone any ally card, though. Okay, I definitely want this. So let's see. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's really a lot of reason to play the Protectors. It's better to Violet it next turn and get the trigger, right? No, I think we just pass. Yeah, we could have done the triggers in response. I was a little bit worried about Galvanic Discharge. Maybe I was too worried about it. Like it just kind of seemed hard to play around in general. Yeah, it seemed like I was. So we maybe could have gained 2 more life here. Now I'm pretty interested in blocking so that I can get some stuff in the graveyard to get more triggers. Although I don't have to do that this turn necessarily. Yeah, maybe it's good to wait like 1 turn. The workshopping ally combo have always been getting tracked towards Image and Flare of Denial. Yeah, I guess my big issue is Image doesn't work with the return cards super well. It's not the worst ever. And of course, another big issue is I only have 1 blue creature in my build, so I don't know where you're getting the blue creatures for Flare. They only have 1 card in their hand. Imagine they jump the Pride here. It feels like it's a little bit of a spew to block the Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, I think we want to wait a turn on the setting up the return to the ranks, unless we just draw Excavator, and then in which case we're going to win the game. You underestimate how good Image for content. I guess you overestimate how interested I am in putting cards in decks for content versus building the best possible deck. You know, I just don't ever care about this argument. Pending. Okay, so let's go Violin the Lieutenant first, and respond to the triggers, Violin the Guide. Gain 12 life. And then Prismatic Ending for the Ajani lets me do a lot of blocking, which is nice. Although, let's go ahead and cast... We have the mana from the guide, so we can cast the Rumble, see if we want to return to the ranks. 2 Earth King's Lieutenants. Okay, we'll just take 1 and then put the other one in the yard, of course. And then untap Fountain. Prismatic Ending the Ajani. And then I could play the other Lieutenant. I would have 2 blockers available. Sure. A 3 blocker, 4 plus the spawn seems fine. I also get to gain some life here, and then I guess one problem is actually I'm now in a spot where it's gonna be hard to get other allies in the yard for the return to the rings. They got a lot of flying damage next turn. Yeah, that's true. I'm at a cool 27. Yeah, I agree. This list is really refreshing. I'm very hyped for it still. Yeah, Rumble being a good top deck is really nice. I do think it's better than the Birthing Rituals we had before. Okay, just a Flage. Actually, Flage is really good for me because it puts a card, another ally in the yard. It would have been bad for me if they stole the Ajani because they just flipped the Ajani here. Yeah, they killed the Ondu Cleric. So they would expect me to Earth Kingdom Protector here, but I think I'm actually probably just gonna be sacking the Protector to get the extra triggers next turn. Played your Badger Yogg listed locals on O3 def for your fault not being bad. Well, keep at it. I do think that deck's really good. I could be wrong, I guess. I think I'm gonna play it again on Friday in the challenge or tomorrow. So what is this, 12 life? Excavator is the best top deck by a lot. Likely a game-winning top deck. Rumble into Excavator. South Pole Voyagers would be really good. A Reinforcements would be good to like at least gain a ton of life and draw some cards at their turn. Another Cleric would be good. Yeah, we've talked a lot about the clones. They don't play very well with the return cards. I'm really happy with the creature base at the moment. I'm not super interested in really messing with it too much, to be quite honest. All right, so yield all here, and then let's go sacrifice. I guess float a mana. Sacrifice, target the bigger guy here. Then let's go return 1, 2, 3. Tap the new one with Convoke. Tap the spawn token. We still have the Earth Kingdom. Like, we have the mana here, so I think it's better to leave these untapped since they're a bit more versatile. It shouldn't matter much how we stack these. Not quite Magic Online breaking yet. Oh, their life total's higher than mine. We do get to draw 2 cards here, though. Another Voyager's good. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready to rumble again. Another South Pole Voyager, which means we get to go... Do I go Voyager into Voyager, draw a card? I only get to draw 1 card if I do that. Instead of if I hold this, I get to draw 4 cards next turn. So I guess that sounds like holding for next turn is going to be better. I'm at a cool 47. Got a lot of good blockers for their ground creatures. So let me go ahead and get in with my big tramplers here. Oh yeah, we have the same life total now. It's fun. Vials are big and they get Prismatic. I mean, Vial's just a mandatory play. Your 1-drops get Prismatic Ending sometime. It's the best 1-drop in the deck. There's no other good 1-drop we can play, really. You know, it's like Aether Vial is like just for me a must include. Oh, they chump block, not realizing we have trample. It's not Thales Lieutenant. All right, so they can surveil to haste a Flage. Not that big a deal. Not that big a deal. When I saw this deck as this Avatar cards, I had to buy into this. Nice. I do think this deck is a playable modern deck. It is. It's not going to be the most competitive, but you can have a positive win rate with it. I think this kind of deck doing this well is a great sign for the health of the metagame. I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't like the Freeblade very much. It felt like just Lieutenant gave you a good beatdown plan. The Freeblade wasn't like even a big part of that beatdown plan. It's just like you just go wide and then all your creatures are big with this. And so I ended up liking the protection, the protectors a lot better. The vigilance with the guide divide guide is cool too. Okay, we're gonna go protecting our cleric. I guess I only have one protector. So I guess we're gonna lose our cleric. Sure. Oh no, sorry, it gets indestructible to end of turn. Duh. I can't say I wish I had a free blade about a deck. I guess that's completely fair. I failed you, Anakin. Oh, they should have jumped the Flage instead of the Spyro because I can block the Flage with my indestructible blocker. I guess they're gonna kill one of my South Pole Voyagers, so they get to draw 3 extra cards next turn. I thought the green ally gives mana was more valuable. That card is good. More valuable than what though? Oh, they have 2 jumps, of course. Never mind. Okay, so we have no blocks. We're gonna go to like 20 something, I think. 23. Totally manageable. Gotta hold these in hand because we may not draw an ally for turn, right? Interesting. I guess we're gonna start on our mill journey, although how do you want to do this? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 allies in play. So I could get 9 times 3. I could get 27 mill triggers off this excavator. Oh, shoot. Sorry. I needed to cast it first. Okay, that's fine. We'll just yield all here. Missed a little bit. They boarded in Containment Priest. Card's pretty good to know about. So we get to draw 2 cards here. If any of them is an ally, that's pretty good. Just imagine a return card. I don't even think we've had a big return to the ranks yet. Okay, we drew another excavator, so this also draws me another card, but it also unfortunately just wins the game. Unless they have an Emrakul in their deck. Well, they've got no cards. One card in hand. Yeah, we've been like just beating up on Boros with allies for like the longest time. You know, people have asked me about goblins, merfolks, humans, and I'm like, you just can't play these kind of decks against something like Boros. And also, like Boros' synergies a lot of times are much better than any synergies you have to offer with like merfolk, merfolk, humans, goblins. But this deck being pretty good against Boros makes me pretty excited. It seemed like unimportant parts of the plan in those matchups, but seems like the kind of deck we could compensate for. All right, let's keep this. Let's put back the second protectors. Good 6-card hand. Can you call the deck a life gain deck for clickbait? Yeah, I don't know what's more clickbait. Or I have mill plus life gain teaming up is kind of funny. I think ally combo is probably the most accurate. A land would be a good draw, of course, but we can afford to miss a land drop. Could we run a Miser's Savine Wreck? Yeah, Savine's Wreck is pretty interesting. Because it does mean that with Halimar Excavator, you don't actually need to have these return cards in your deck to win the game. In fact, it is like actually entirely possible that Savine's Wreck is better than the other one, because you just get to the point where like a single, like just two triggers from the yard will be lethal. Yeah, I have been liking Rumble over Ritual. I've certainly felt like this has been a good upgrade. Bant. Bant Ritual. Could be 4-colored, like the 4-color Cascade build still. We don't find another land. I guess I'll take an Earth King's Lieutenant. You still lose to Wrath even with return. You could beat Wrath, I don't know. The 4-mana return card beats it, but yeah, maybe I do think Savine's Rick might be better than the 4-mana return card. We could try it for in the next league, maybe. Does he Omnath Ritual want a challenge? No, was it playing Cascade or not? -1 damage. I'm just a little bit worried about them killing it, right? It's not the most likely that they would just Solitude after 1 damage. I guess that's not likely, but a lot of times if I just like need the mana and I think I'm likely to get it, if I don't attack, I'll do it. Yeah, but maybe I was being a little paranoid there. If Return was Savine's Wreck, being milled is better. Yeah, that's what we're saying. I think, well, Return to the Ranks is better than the 4-mana one. I don't remember what the 4-mana one's called. But, yeah, I do think the Savine's Wreck could be better there. All right, the pitch of Solitude. Yeah, Raise to the Past. Raise to the Past being a lethal top deck is very real, come up a lot. Yeah, I think I agree that it's real. I agree that it's real. I don't know. I do think Return to the Ranks is the best one. Rumble also makes Savine's Wreck better, too. Okay, gonna be kind of a weird game. I feel like this matchup is probably fine. Like, the mill plan seems really good against them, and they're pretty slow, but our draw isn't exactly good for that plan. Enjoyer with the cheer. Thank you so 7 streak. Thank you so much. Played Charlotte's Not Bread Braid. Okay, interesting. Were they playing like Force Negation? I would love to take a look at the list if you wanted to post it. It was playing Cascade, no Bloodbraid Elf, no Aang. Okay. I do like Aang. I don't know if it's good in Omnath. As the removal light, I think you steamroll. The thing is, removal is also not that tough because you just have the returns, but that's like why we've been beating up on Boros at least. Okay, so it's very similar to our older build, but they're not playing Bloodbraid Elf. Although Bloodbraid Elf would be the best 4-drop in this deck, I think. Like, I feel like you could easily cut like 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Bloodbraid Elves, whatever. Maybe you could say it's part of the sideboard plan, but you can trim. Yeah, I don't know. Bloodbraid Elf was like kind of the best card in the deck, or I guess Agent was better, but Bloodbraid Elf was really good. Playing 0 just because you have 1 Force Negation doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The Kavera also seems bad. I don't know. Maybe overthinking it. I'm glad that they're still the Hellkites, so the Hellkites are just so important to like stop your opponent from winning so you can kill them. Yeah, Elish Norn is very scary. I do think the Elish Norn is good. That is a card we actually just can't beat, so I don't know how important it is to have an answer to Elish Norn. It's like you don't see him very often right now, but maybe you'll see him more often. Okay, Dead Aether Vial. We still have the Great Guide Divide. Might be okay to start. Okay, then they copy Solitude, kill Divide. Okay, let's go to game 2. Go to game 2 before we... I mean, they probably know Elish Norn's insane against us. We could bring Prismatic Ending for Birthing Ritual. It's just not a very good answer unless they play it turn 2. Don't think I'm playing Ashiok, but it wouldn't really be the worst against them. Let's go Beyond the Play. I got hosed by the 1 Force Negation. Yeah, I mean, it is nice to be able to play Force, but I think Bloodbraid Elf is so good in this shell. It's like just shocking to me to see it be cut for like 1 like I like 1 -1 Force -1 Kavero seems like super free for 2 Bloodbraid Elves. Being a little nitpicky, but I also like, you know, we built this deck and I'm like really passionate about it, so whatever. Looks good though. I like a lot of the changes they've made. But you can Pending Elish Norn. Okay, maybe that's worth it. I guess we'll keep this on the play. It's okay, not great. Oh, Aang at the Crossroads was the egg we were talking about. Yeah, shocker, egg at the crossroads, moon mist, and it end up doesn't seem to have the staying power. It is really cool. I don't want to shit talk it too much. But there's just too much other there's like actually competitive stuff to be doing with Avatar. We don't need to waste our time with egg moon mist. No, they're not playing Chalice because they're the Cascade version. So I'll probably go Rumble this turn. Sad to lose my other Surveil land. Oh, interesting. If I had my other Surveil land, I'd probably just go Surveil land plus Aether Vial. We'll take the Invasion Reinforcements because it's going to be a more consistent way for me to draw the extra cards off the South Pole Voyager. I do think I need to play the Aether Vial, even though it stops me from going Voyager Reinforcements next turn. Aang at the Crossroads is not the Moon Mist one. Isn't it? What's the is it the blue white Aang? I think the blue white Aang's good. I've liked that card a lot. We 4-1 with that on Monday or Tuesday. So you go -1 drop, plus -1 battery animation spell, +1 excavator. -1 excavator. What, you want to cut Halimar Excavator? That card is the best card of the deck. like how many games have we been playing where like, okay, if there was a Halimar Excavator in the top 20 cards, this game would have been like long since over. I feel like we've been in that spot like a dozen times. With so many humans across Spider, could Winota be worth revisiting? I did revisit Winota. I don't remember if it was with Spider-Man. I had like a build that I liked, but it just still didn't end up performing very well. Okay, bad hit for them. Could maybe ephemerate it. I do want people to suggest what to cut, but I'm giving you feedback on your suggestion. You should never cut Halimar Excavator. It is the best card of the deck. But I will take it. I'll take the suggestion. Getting kind of flooded may not be in the cards for this game. We do get to draw another card here. Badger Winota. That's definitely the start of an idea. Yeah, lightning with Winota is interesting. I had a Boros build of Winota a few months ago. I really believed in, and then it was worse than both our Boros Delirium build, and it was worse than regular Boros. So we're talking about Return to the Ranks a minute ago. I'm a huge fan of Foggy Swamp Visions. It's the best part of Return and Rally. Well, it's not the best part of Return and Rally because you don't get to keep the stuff in play, right? Okay, maybe this card is really good. Maybe I'm kind of coming around on this card. All right, I think I'm just gonna. If I draw Return to the Ranks, I'm gonna go Invasion Reinforcements this turn, but I do think we have the tools for this matchup, but maybe it's not meant to be. Yeah, so I mean, I was messing a little bit with Foggy Swamp Visions in Bitter Reunion. I'm not of the opinion that that won't be a build that gets figured out, but it's been a bit on the back burner. I have in the queue, I have Spirits, which I want to play. I still have Fair Mono Black Airship that I'd like to play. I have Is It Wang Shitong. So we have a lot of stuff in the queue. Okay, maybe a little bit unfortunate to run into Elesh Norm. Maybe it's gonna be more popular. Just 5 mana win the game against this deck. Foggy Swamp Vision sounds like awkward 3 mana reanimate every Blood Artist. Be very cool. We'll see. I feel like that you want to kind of just bring back a lot of normal stuff and then give it haste with Return to the Ranks. That's at least my vision. Okay, so we're on the draw against another mulligan to 6. We're gonna draw Aether Vial. Not Aether Vial, but maybe going Invasion Reinforcements into Great Divide Guide could be good this game. Listen, we're 2-2, but we've hit the Keldon Marauders bracket. You know what? What's kind of funny about this? We kind of just hit like the worst imaginable matchup. Or not the worst, like one of the worst imaginable cards. 5-mana Elish Norn. We did beat a deck playing 7-mana Elish Norn earlier. I digress though. Yeah, but it's like we have now run into like the best possible matchup, which is Mono Red Burn. Somehow. I know this card is like a popper all-star. Very surprised to see pro MTG playing it in Modern. What do they know that we don't know? Say Lava Dart my Cleric, but I've got Return to the Ranks. So I take 3. So I mean, this is like 2 mana 5 damage here. Seems like I want to go Voyager and then next turn Reinforcements plus Return to the Ranks. Potentially returning this Voyager too. Be funny to lose this one. I'm going to go ahead and rent a couple Sevine's Reclamation because I do think I want to try a league with those Reinforcements from Chop. I kind of feel like I need the Reinforcements to Return to the Ranks though. High key Spike, you should buy this deck instead of renting it. Super cheap. Well, renting is $0. It's going to be cheaper than buying it. I don't know. What am I going to do if I own it? Just play it? I could do that if I rent. I got a Lightning Bolt, so we want to find a land so we can return to the ranks X equals 2 after invasion reinforcing, although my opponent could Lava Dart to stop that. Earth Kingdom Protectors. I guess this lets me return to the ranks X equals 2 anyways. Oh, sorry, it doesn't. What am I talking about? Yeah, let's still just get the Ondu Cleric back into play here. See if they have Skullcrack. So they got Lava Dart to deny me a life here. They don't. So we're going to lose a life to the Marauders. Then they messed up. They don't know nothing about Ondu Cleric, I guess. Not a lot of people do these days. Gotta teach these kids. We're down to 12. Have we considered a more aggressive build with OGs and our allies? No, not at all. There's just no chance that that's better than this, in my opinion. Like, the new cards that got printed don't lend themselves to be an aggressive build so much. It's like this card's good, but they're not grindy cards, you know. That's not what the new cards incentivize you to play. It's like there's one good aggressive ally. It's the one that rallies to give +1/+0 to itself, and that one's not even great in the Lava Dart format. Like the reason this deck is good is because it has potential fast wins that don't care about attacking, because you're not going to be a better aggro deck than Boros and Prowess. This was a huge part of the problem with like Modern Humans when Fury was legal. The biggest problems with that deck was not that Fury was legal and they could kill everything. It's that you were just not you as a creature deck couldn't do anything better than any other creature deck. You're just weaker and slower and lower card quality and like worse synergy. Ball lightning. I guess I'll gain 1 here. Is Hot a Freeblade garbage? We had it in our first draft. I didn't like it very much. Opponent is legit. I think my opponent must be like recording a YouTube. Maybe I'm too content brained or something. But to me, this just seems like they're recording like a budget Magic YouTube video, and somehow they're running into my Ondu Cleric deck, which is so annoying for them, I'm sure. It is a real. I'm really trying to savor this. It's a real treat to get to play a match like this right now. it's it's a real treat to get to play a match like this. Okay, we'll bring in these guys. think I'll actually go down an excavator. A couple raise the pass, since it does seem like the Great Divide, because it seems like we care a lot more about Ondu Cleric than we care about excavating this match. Just turn 1. All right, we'll keep this on the draw against Mono Red Burn. I think they've got Skullcrack. I'd have no idea. I mean, I would be surprised, I guess, if they didn't, but I think I'm in for a lot of surprises anyways, no matter what. We could definitely lose on the draw. It's going to be much harder to lose on the play. Thanks, Lighter. Appreciate the feedback. Legit never seen this card in Modern before. I've registered this at Arena PT. Play with fire. Okay, so we're down to 12. I'm going to fetch down to 11. Probably just play the South Pole Voyager. What a treat to get to play a match like this in 2025. They play Girl of Interest at PT. Yeah, it was 50% standard, 50% historic, and I had a really good historic deck. And like that deck actually got me a riding gig at Channel Fireball because I beat, like, my first 3 rounds were Alice, or my first 4 rounds. This is my first 4 rounds of that PT was Gregory Orange, Huey Jensen, Alice V, and then I won all 3 of those first rounds. They were all historic. I had a really good Bant Uro build where I like Tails End was just like the broken card for that format. I guess we main phase because of prowess. Also, we want to be able to chip the Marauders. And so like that build ended up getting me, like, because I beat all these CFB guys, it ended up getting me the riding gig there. But then I didn't have like a lot of time to test for standard because it took so much time on the timeless, and then I spent too long on standard trying to brew like I did in timeless, and like I had like a great timeless record, I had an abysmal standard record. It was tough. But my timeless deck was sick. Tails into countering Muxus, and like countering Muxus, and then also like letting you scam Uro was just like, it was so crazy. And I played like 1 or 2 Lotus Fields too. No, we saw a Ball Lightning, so they're not full Pauper. Was that broken Adventure Lucky Charm legal? I don't think it was legal at that point. I can't remember. It might have been. Better to block with Invasion Reinforcements than the token because we can return it. I believe it was historic PT, not timeless. It was historic. Did I say timeless? I have timeless on the brain because I've been helping a friend who's qualified for the arena champs, I guess. All right, are we dead? This is 4 damage. They need 8 more. I guess maybe 7 more if I crack this. Oh yeah, Tails Ending someone's. Yeah, Tails End was so broken. It was just like that. I was like, I had the tech. It was great. Very fun of it. So they Lava Dart my Voyager instead. Presumably they'll flashback the dart. So we're gonna be left with 1 ally. We're gonna take 6 down to 6. I'll probably surveil here. Would really like to find another land. All right, in this spot, would I pay 1 life to draw 1 card? No, I guess. So we play the Cleric first. I can go down to 4, and then I can gain 4 up to 8, and then I go down to 1. I guess I don't really die to any combination of cards, and it does. Oh, I can still double spell next turn because I can play the Excavator and a Lieutenant, so I'll get the Plains. Spike, will standard ever not be heinous? Yeah, it's been not heinous. Like so, not right now, but there definitely have been, like, a year or 2 ago when I went to the Chicago Open event at MagicCon Chicago. I really liked that standard. I went with no practice. I played blue white control. I lost to Jarvis late to lose my in for top 8 there. At that PTQ. I liked the standard metagame when I went to SCG Atlanta last year, like about a year ago. Like there's definitely been some good standards. I don't know if there's been any great standards, but I've definitely enjoyed some. The World's Meta looks pretty sick. Nice. Is World's modern? I actually don't even know. Standard? Okay, let me take a peek. Yeah, how is standard right now? I have no idea. Javier. Standard limited, cool. Do you think Glimpse of Nature is still too good for modern? I don't think it's too powerful. I think Glimpse of Nature, despite me being a big Elves fan, is a card that almost always leads to boring gameplay. Decks that take like 10-minute turns, like I just tend to like to avoid these as much as you can. All right, start casting your Rimrock Knights. I got my 2/4 ready to block. So 23% is it lessons? I don't know what that is. Teamer Otters, I know that one's pretty fun. Bant Airbending, so the airbending combo with the Doc Arlock. Is it looting? Wait, so this is like VV Cauldron without VV? So look at that. Just get control. Is it prowess? Simic Ouroboros. I do like that Ouroboros card. 10% other. Looks relatively healthy. Dang, of course, the one time we really get to pop off with Return to the Ranks, it's against this deck, huh? One, two. Oh wait, I can get. Is this going to be too many triggers? I think this should be fine. This will surely not break Magic Online again. Oh man, although I can't count. They concede! Oh, sorry, opponent. Okay, so 3-2 this league. Let's go ahead and do another one. How do you feel about Broadside Bombarders in Modern? Too busted? I mean, it probably wouldn't be as good in Modern without, like, ancient...